on, Coach?
What up? What up?
How we doing? It's been a minute, man. Is this thing on? Welcome back to another go round, another sit down session, right here live on the Whatever You Say podcast from the Whatever You Say studio. I'm your man Ivory Towns, back for another go round, and I got another 2-shot in this one. And you know this is a podcast for the people, man. I got a champ who is right here from the town and doing this thing. Is on the come up, man. And he brought his pops. Trainer, the OG who put us in the game with this whole thing, man. That's just a game. You know, cats around here kind of, they don't want to make the road too difficult for themselves. Everybody's not ready for the smoke like that.
Right.
You know what I mean? Everybody's not ready for the smoke like that. But like I said, we go back 10, 15 years, and I know about some of those difficult times you were talking about. And I want both of you guys' opinion on this. How proud are you how proud of yourself that you overcame that, or what have you found out about yourself? Because we're talking about at one point we're coming up on our first and second loss, right?
Mm-hmm.
We got a child on the way. We got some other family stuff going on.
Divorce.
Divorce, right? What have you found out about yourself that is kind of made a positive spin on your career and just you as a person coming out of that?
I'm very deeply rooted in being family oriented.
Yeah.
I love my family, like, more than anything. So having that principle taught to me, like, that's just something that was probably one of the biggest things that helped me overcome, because, like, I attribute that to my parents. Like, my dad has always been, like, my best friend. Like, we've always had a very, very close relationship ever since I was a kid. So, having that wisdom, having somebody being able to express and tell me, from a father perspective and from a friend perspective, really from both parents, even now with my same thing with my mother too, so and my stepfather,
right.
So just having that positive influence on me, that was really the main way I was able to get through.
Coach P, same thing with you, watching your son go through that. What did you see you going through it all over again? You see so much in your son and how you would handle a certain situation like that?
Well, yeah, I've seen some similarities.
Yeah.
That he was going through, and since I had seen those similarities, I kind of knew how I navigated through them, and so of course, he lent me his ear, and I told him some things that I've seen through experience, some those things because during the time that I went through some things, I had to learn.
Right.
Some of the things I had to sit back and just let him experience, because experience is the best teacher. And sometimes you just got to experience some things. Sometimes you get it right, sometimes you get it wrong. But the adversity of it all, it teaches you the lesson. Adversity teaches. And sometimes you have to have it in your life it creates a strength in you. It creates the fight in you, and that's what made him who he is today. Adversity.
Glad you had to go through that stuff, P.
I mean, I won't say glad is the word, but at the same time, I am grateful that I was able to come out on the other side better, and I didn't let him break me, and I feel like that's one of the key things that he taught me, and I learned from my family. They taught me to never break, and I won't. Like, I feel like I've had many obstacles kind of get put on me at one time, and I never let it break me, and I still won't to this day.
Boxing, even though it's a singular game, you know, it reminds me a lot of, you know, college football almost.
Mm-hmm.
One loss, you know what I mean? Depending on how you take it, depending on how bad it was, depending on who it was from, one loss, two losses can almost wipe you out, right? If you don't do this the right way. You know what I mean? So it's a lot like college football, and yeah, you got to have the fortitude to make it through that. Talk about that, Elijah. Just why is it like that for you or for boxers? Period. Why is one loss, two losses such a detrimental thing, and it's so hard just to turn it back on and just get back out there and do better in your next fight?
I've called it the Floyd effect. You know, Floyd Mayweather. You know, obviously he did a great job in marketing himself. He done a great job of kind of more so positioning himself in a different light, right, in terms of boxing. So, you know, ever since he retired, that's pretty much been the blueprint everybody wants to feel. You know, everybody wants to be that pay-per-view star. So, now they pretty much made it, since Floyd was very keen on being undefeated. That was one of his biggest marketing strategies. You know, saying that you know, he was undefeated and whatnot. Nobody could beat him. So, and then in him retiring undefeated. So there's so much emphasis on being undefeated, right, that, you know, guys are padding their records. Guys are, you know, they're not willing to face the toughest opposition, and which I see a lot of today, even with the current stars. You know, they're not really willing to face each other for the most part. You know, the fans are kind of taking the detriment of that, and not, right, you know, not really getting to see the fights we want to see, because we're all afraid of being judged. We're like, we're all just trying to provide lives and you know, sustain our lives and provide for our families. So, you know, it's hard and nerve-wracking, you know, to be put in that position. But at the end of the day, that's the game. We're supposed to, you know, fight the best. You know, we're supposed to be a sport at the end of the day, an honorable sport. And I guess I think it kind of now is starting to lose a little sight of that. But
a little bit, man, because I mean, you know, I almost call it the Floyd effect. That's true. And now, who took it to the next level is these damn Logan and Jake Paul brothers. You know, it's like now, you know, I can kind of halfway, you know, dance around with boxing and be kind of good, and as long as my popularity numbers, as long as my shares and my likes is up there, then, you know, and I'm willing to go out there and talk crazy and pick fights. Hey man, we can get something going. And yeah, you lose all of the grind, you lose all of the training, you lose all of the respect of the actual game of boxing and the sport. So it's a new business out there where we at right now. Pops, it's totally different from when you came up watching and from what we came up watching. How are you navigating through this thing too? Just kind of overseeing it, or?
Well, you know, when it changes, sometimes you can't stop change.
Yeah.
Sometimes you can't stop. For instance, the VHS. You know, then all of a sudden they stop making them, and they stop. I'll give you even a better one. The payphone.
Right.
You should have payphones, all right?
Yes.
All of a sudden, whether you want them to or not, they took them all off the streets,
right,
and forced you to get a cell phone.
Yeah.
And so sometimes that's just how life is. It forces you to make a change where you don't want it. The boxing game has been forced into another change.
Yeah.
And so whether you like it or not, you gotta adapt to it. It's almost a popularity contest, more about the glory and the grind, and I want to be the best or whatever. I want to appear to be the best, but I'm not really the best because I haven't proven it, because I hadn't fought the other ones that are considered the better fighters as well. So until you do that, it's hard for you to say that, but the popularity contest will still speak highly of you, and you'll get paid the money all the same.
Yeah.
And so it's just a new racket. They say boxing is a business